Hey everybody, this is Nokazoa here. Just gonna kind of do a commentary over one of my latest jersey swaps that I did for Dots. This one is a Bengal player. I don't know why I just blanked on that. And as you can see, I swapped him to a Arizona Outlaw. This is with the older logo. So without much further ado, we'll just get this started. So, first thing we do is, you gotta cut out your render from the photo. What I usually do is I use, go to select subject, and then select and mask. Then use refine hair. It's actually pretty good compared to what it was in earlier versions of Photoshop. But I still was having this like half transparency issue. So then I got the polygonal lasso tool right here, and I just kind of cut out the hair, or added in the hair to the selection. Yeah. And here I'm playing with the transparency slider. That's so that I can check the cut constantly. Because, in certain areas it's hard to tell what's going to be there and what's not. I recommend using the polygonal lasso tool. I find it probably gives you the cleanest cuts. You can use regular lasso, but if you don't have like the best hand, then it's not great. Then I gotta do the shoes. I use quick select for the shoes, and then I don't think I might have manually brushed it out. But with the Hall of Fame cards, we use usually the feet are there. So yeah, there's that. I should have actually cleaned up this arm, but I didn't. So now we're going on to hiding patches. So what I do there is I'll select whatever I want to mask out. Well, it's not masking. And then do edit content aware fill. And then that's what pulls out that little menu. So right here, I'm trying to... The best way to describe it is I'm trying to change this stripe to solid orange. And I can't get it to do it right. Like, it doesn't look right no matter what I do. And I end up doing this for a couple minutes, trying to figure it out. And I only really left this part in for what I'm about to show you, which is also how to do color change. So my color change is you get your selection, make a group, add a mask to that group, and then you add a color fill layer. And I did that, I was hoping that maybe I could get the colors to look right, and with the black and white, it won't look the same. So I end up manually selecting out the black. And then what I'm going to do from there is what I did with the patches, which is edit content aware fill, and you'll just see. So then I got so all that green is what your content aware will select from. So I paint out everything I don't want it to take from. And then from there I just went in with the spot healing brush and just cleaned it up. It's not perfect by any means, but it's fine. It's good enough. And it'll help you keep detail. This I just color picked it and then just brushed it out. Here I noticed that some of my selection was rough, so I used a art history brush to fix that. And again, just cleaning up patches. I mean, that's one of the most important things to do well. I didn't do this well though. I tried. This is just a spot healing brush. I didn't do it on the edge because if you use a spot healing brush on an edge like that, you'll end up going outside of your outside of the helmet, and like it'll add on to it. Then you have to erase it to clean it up, and it's just not what I really want to do. Yeah, and I gotta update my drivers. I'll do that. Don't worry. So like I said, you'd already saw me do the select it off. So I'll end up going in and adding the rest of the orange that's in the thing. So I'm using the older Outlaws logo because this is an older player. And I pulled the logo so I can get the color match for the color fill. So here I'm just getting most of the orange. I'm getting the orange itself. And I'm going to add it to that group mask so that'll also be color changed. With white, you don't actually really have to worry about it changing colors. However, if the white's in a shadow, that's no longer a pure white, and thus it will change colors. So, and I knew that going in. My plan for this, when I was just selecting the whole numbers, was to color range select the white out, and then just brush it out of the mask. That doesn't end up working, which you'll see. Color range is kind of finicky at times. You know, a lot of jersey swapping is just kind of getting in the details. And just cleaning up everything. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but I mean, you gotta make sure it's not sloppy either. So see, and what I did for that is, if you hit Shift F5, you'll fill whatever your selection is with whatever your foreground color. So in that case, it was white. I decided I didn't like the helmet red, so I ended up brushing that out, and I think I took whatever I selected for the other group mask and add the hue saturation, just desaturated everything. Then I realized I didn't do any of the feet, so I ended up using a hue saturation that will just affect the feet, and I didn't want to just desaturate it. So I end up just color matching it by messing with the red and yellow sliders and the hue saturation, which you could arguably have done for the whole thing and not have to mask it out. But sometimes you get colors that you can't really get just right. This is me trying to color range out the white, which I can't do it that well, so I end up just manually selecting all the white and the numbers, and just like, okay, I guess I'll just do this what I should have done the first time. This is very much, this isn't perfect by any means, but it is what it is. So this is just what that'll look like. Big difference. I mean, I guess the light does change, I guess. I then quick select out this. Quick select was not working for me so well, if you couldn't tell earlier. So I didn't love it. This is where then I also realized that when I erased the red from the helmet, I accidentally hit the shoulder too because I didn't mask out that selection. I say mask out, it's not masking out, it's just I should have selected out the helmet when I did when I brushed it out. So anyway, I'm just kind of going over here and just doing it. I leave my brush, if you can see, it's on 75 smoothing. I do that because I use mouse and keyboard, it's easier to drag things around. That's me taking the hue saturation and kind of just shooting it around where when I cut out part of the mask, not part of the mask, when I was doing the selection, there's still some orange underneath. I didn't love it. And I ended up fiddling with this helmet for most of this. I think right now, yeah, I end up messing with the sliders, maybe just to get a slightly different kind of red. I think I end up color matching it pretty well. And when you use the hue saturation, it's because I didn't want to have to like redo my selection, because I was feeling lazy and I couldn't go back to an older selection. And I was like, oh yeah, here's something that a lot of you guys have been asking me about in the league, about my helmets. So that was just getting it and then doing perspective warp. Then I go to filter liquefy and I push it around, try to get the curve a little bit. Then I use a warp and also kind of just bend it a little bit. And then, you know, put a layer mask on it and then put the strap. Then you copy it, set the bottom layer, multiply, top layer to screen, play with the sliders on that. And then I've just been trying to figure out what the fuck I'm going to do with the helmet. I was trying to make a stripe. I was thinking about like making a stripe or something. Was not working out. If you're going to add a stripe to a helmet like this, I would recommend finding a photo of a team with the helmets with the stripe on their helmet. But just try to find a photo and then just pull that up of like the helmet in the same kind of orientation, and then you can just copy that. So I end up looking at helmet designs. I saw a cool gradient that I liked. So this is me making sure, like, you know, making sure I only affect the helmet on this. I was like, oh, that's a pretty neat thing, but I realized nothing in this, it'd be weird to have that gray, right? So then I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to do what I've not been wanting to do, which is I'm gonna have to select out the helmet. And also, I'm not done with the helmet logo, by the way. I end up adding some final touches. That was a smudge brush. I just kind of smudged the screen tone I did. And this is also me trying to figure out what the fuck my layers do. Also, when you do selections, like, don't do what I just did and have it on a remove from selection when you're trying to add something, because then you're just wasting your fucking time. Because I end up like, I do a lot of shit where I could be a lot faster if I just paid the fuck attention. So I did another group here, and then I did levels. With the levels, you can, you know, darken, lighten it. I ended up liking that red, so I ended up kind of playing with that a little bit. Brushed it out, and this is all just now playing with mask for the color fill, and for all the adjustment layers, each one comes with a mask, and it's just playing with that. That was a good, nice little overlay to add a little bit more cohesion to the whole overall. Yeah, I mean, so I'm about done with this. I gotta add some logos. But that's mainly the hard part of the swap. It was like the helmet. Which again, we're not done with it's a lot of just trying to get it all right, and trying to add some grunge, mess with some smudge brushes. Spatter, and all of these brushes I've just gotten over the years. So here I'm adding some final details. I color pick off the highlights. Also then look at my reference image and then see how the shine is. Take a smudge brush and then kind of loosen up some of that. This is me taking the logo, adding a new layer clipping mask to the logo, and then add shadows and lights to it to give a little bit more depth. Now this is me just adding this stuff, not anything crazy, nor is it the way I'd recommend always doing this kind of stuff. I usually hate actually adding this. I use a drop shadow to give it a slightly more 3D effect when I do these kind of logos. I added a blur to it because I didn't want it to be that crisp, because I was kind of being shitty about it. And then again, this is just perspective warping. Just hold Alt, and then you can move around those corners when you have it on free transform. That's me again, playing with layers. And I was gonna add the logo again to the front, like on the real jersey that this is on. And I kind of realized I hate the fucking logo, so didn't do that. So now it's just doing the Hall of Fame. This template's so great. Lime did it, and he's just very talented guy. He did the design was like, I threw one card and I was like, I kind of like this. He's like, oh, okay. And then he did his own version, and it's great. I misspelled this guy's name too. It was hilarious. Supposed to be black. Changed to Arizona. Changed the background to Arizona. And then this is a camera raw filter. So what I did is I duplicate the render in case I don't end up liking my edits, and then I just kind of play around with it. Then add another layer, clipping mask it, and then I think this will be set to soft light. I first set it to overlay, then soft light. And soft light works good for both shadows and lights. So there's that. Then I did another overlay to get a little bit more contrast in those darker areas. And overlay also will work for lights. And I think that's it. Oh yeah, I play with the icky and grime and realized I left Yellow Knife still on. Play with the tape some, because I get in trouble for that because I'm not adding enough variety. And yeah, this is essentially it. And export. So yeah, hopefully this resource helps you out. And if you don't like it, or if you don't find it that useful, let me know, and I can always try to make another one. Make it more tutorial-like. Probably be the best way to describe it. Alright, so have a good day.